What's up, guys? Today's commentary is going to be a Rakan game. This was a pretty fun game to play because we were behind for a lot of the game and then we managed to come back, but I think it's a good showcase of how you can play defensively but still look for opportunities. As we climb higher up on this account, the games are going to be a lot closer. I'm not going to be able to, get as much of a lead in laning phase. I think we'll be having a lot more closer games in the future. I decided to pick Rakan in this draft because, well, okay, I kind of just wanted to play Rakan. Rakan, I think showing here is like kind of okay. If my jungle showed a melee champion, then it would be a lot better. But essentially Rakan he wants a decent frontline so he can use his E and jump around. And also he's good into enemy melee champs because of how slippery he can be. And so Rakan Kai'Sa is not a bad duo, just because Kai'Sa does get her stacks off of Rakan's knockup. So this is a pretty decent draft for him. It turns out to be a pretty decent draft, but I wouldn't really blind pick Rakan because he does struggle against enchanters or supports that kind of outrange him. So I'm taking a very standard Guardian page. I think for reds, I really like sudden impact. I think you get so much true damage off of it. And then I'm going Ignite here as well. So this game I'm Emerald 2, I think, playing in a Diamond lobby. You can see here this is the lobby. So Elise is actually unranked, no, Elise is unranked. I was gonna say I thought they were in streamer mode because they were unranked, but the name shows. So we are in high diamond now. So starting off the game, going sweeper. Yeah, recently I feel like sweeper is just, you just get so many opportunities to set up for kills, which you'll see here. So I'm setting up for the 5-point. I see that the enemy is there. Really important. I don't level up anything until Elise throws out her E, and then I W out. I think a lot of the time for Rakan, Q start is generally a lot better for W. I think if you are playing against an engaged champ, W is fine, but for the most part, starting Q is more ideal because, if you just W with Rakan, you just have to like walk away and it's like kind of awkward, and I think you just can create more space using the Q. So unfortunately, I am forced to start W just because Elise went for the gank and I needed to dodge it, and so we are starting lane. I think it's really important to kind of think about how your 2v2 goes even before the game starts. That way you'll kind of know what interactions to think about as you're playing. So for this 2v2, it's a little hard for me to W until Elise E's or Corki W's. I tried to go for a W there because I saw two of them lined up, but they warded right as I was going, so they were able to dodge it. I take a really horrible trade here. So right off the rip, we're kind of behind. I can't really walk up anymore. I have my Guardian and Bone Plating are down. One good little tip for trading in lane is looking at your runes and just trading when they're up. One thing on top of the runes for Rakan specifically is trading when your passive is up. So he gets a shield every, I don't know how long it is, but you can see that it's on cooldown here. And then it comes up now. So, ideally we want to trade with our Bone Plating and when our Guardian is up. Here we're sitting back, they have level 2. I was coaching a Diamond player the other day, and he was telling me how he struggles a lot with the early game of engaged supports, but basically it's okay to just give the wave and sit back like I'm doing here. A lot of engaged players tend to like overplay their level 1 and just get really chunked, but yeah, sometimes you just have to play it slow. So Trundle is pinging that he's pathing down. We do see that Zinzao is topside. I take note of this. I know that Try is most likely warded because they dip into fog, and because I have sweeper, I am sweeping it here. Trundle actually goes around. This is a very interesting game. He skips grubs and he goes around. So we're able to get this. I wait for Elise to E specifically, and I actually read the flash forward. So if we go back here, the way I position myself to get this W off of Elise is that I'm Wing in front of her while she's still in range, so it'll hit if she flashes, but I specifically wait here for the repel, and then I position my W where it'll catch her flash, which is how we end up getting the kill here. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how it's really important to think about the interactions of the 2v2 in bot lane just so you can set up for things like that. So after we get the kill, very standard stuff, we push in bot wave, and then I am going back. So small thing here, I buy a ruby crystal over boots. I had 500 gold. The 200 gold would have felt pretty bad to have left over, but this is a small itemization thing where if you are playing melee versus melee, usually other melee supports kind of default to getting boots, but if they do so, and if you have ruby crystal, then you just win any 2v2. So I hover out of range to look for Katarina here, burn the flash, which is very huge basically, win bot lane, and then go mid and win mid. I want to push this because Echo is calling for that he wants to push this because he most likely wants to back. So I help push this, and then I have to go back bot lane because it's a giant wave. I probably should have backed a little bit earlier because they're attempting for the dive, but they like overplay it, and so we are able to rotate in time here. I don't even blame Elise for going for this because this is just like how Elise should be playing. I'm going for the dive, but yeah, she definitely greeted for it. So game state is looking very good here. We basically win bot, we win mid, and then we go back bot again. Looking to push out the wave and then recall. I have 630 gold. That was a crazy W, by the way, that actually threaded the needle. I walk up to try to get more minions, as many minions as I can in my W so we can push faster. Then I dip out into the bush to recall. I hug the little lip here because the Corki saw me with the vision on Q, and so I thought Elise would push. Elise should be pushing there to cancel recalls, but she doesn't end up doing that. I get boots and a fairy charm, and then I run back mid, kind of doing the same thing. You push bot and you recall, you generally should always go mid, just in case there is potential for covering for a gank like that. So we counter gank the Elise just in time. Fortunately, nothing really happens, and so we just walk back bot. Sweeping as I go because I know Elise walked up from bot side. I see that there's fighting again, so I run back. Elise is also back. And I am just trying to shield and get Trundle out. Very surprised. Honestly, going bot here was fine, but my team kind of was overconfident in the 2v2, and Elise was able to rotate before me. I'm holding the wave here for Echo, and I'm just panning my camera over to see bot side. We push in the wave. I want to take a recall here. I don't have to go bot just because the wave is pushed in. I end up staying because Katarina stays as well. Just trying to auto. And that's the end of that play. So this is like... staying here, you might think I'm overstaying here, but it's completely fine because our wave states are good. Specifically for bot, like Kaisa will be fine because she pushed in the wave, and grubs are up, so I path back mid. I have a little timer here before bot wave pushes out. Kaisa unfortunately steps forward. but they aren't able to get the kill. So I think the wave, when the wave was right in front of the tower, I still had time to go for like a mini roam, but this wasn't necessarily my fault. I think the timer was still good on the roam, but Kaisa, like, this is a pretty common thing that a lot of AD carries do, is like they just step forward when they should just be waiting. So this gets really close. I have flash up. I'm waiting to flash in W. I'm getting pinged off, but I greed for it. Corki's W comes up right as my W goes, so I'm not able to get it. We see that Xin Zhao takes Dragon, so I'm like trying to avoid him, but he ends up just going around and goes for Kaisa. I'm looping around here. And unfortunately we're not able to get the kill here. So that was completely my bad for greeting as hard. Echo tries to go for more, but gets poked out. Or not. He gets CC locked, and then he just ends up dying. And then I end up dying. My W was in like 0.1 seconds. And this is where the game gets very hard. Also, I guess this is a good game to kind of like talk about mental. So for the rest of this game, you'll start to see this, but Echo starts being really annoying and just like starts like spam pinging. But yeah, one aspect that I guess I don't really talk about too much is not tilting and kind of just focusing on what you can do next. So, okay, sorry, I walk down, try to go for the engage on Corki, he W's out, but we still get the kill. So, mental is a huge thing in League. It's not really talked about as much as it should, but yeah, I don't know. People always ask me advice on like, oh, how do I not tilt? Because I feel like I'm pretty level-headed, even in games where people are super toxic. But it just kind of comes with playing so much, and I think like really maturing. I think that's what it comes down to. Okay, so sorry. Elise goes for this red. I want to look for the rotation when she comes. She puts the W down, puts the ward down, and then you can see the flash pings. I ult, I run away. I'm trying to hover and maybe so I can maybe go back in, but then Katarina ganks us, and then we fall even further behind. Yeah, Xin Zhao gets the pick on Kaisa. Also, just I definitely should have muted Echo here, like right after that, but I just keep him unmuted. Pings are just distracting. It is what it is, but yeah, I guess like the most important thing to think about for like not tilting is that it's just like not really worth your time to give them your time, I guess. Like this Echo, I looked at his profile, he's like a hard stuck diamond player, and it's like it's really not worth your time to just give them a reaction. A lot easier said than done for sure. I think that in a lot of cases, it's less, I feel like people are super toxic, but a lot of times I think players kind of tilt when they feel like their teammates are bad, which, I mean, most likely they are, but for the players that aren't bad, or for the players that are bad and that aren't pinging, it's like you have to kind of understand that they're not making mistakes to try to lose the game, they're just trying their best. We try to go for the dive on Corki because we saw that Elise is topside. And then Echo is spam pinging me. We see that, yeah, Elise is topside, so we try to go for the dive. Elise is still there, so I loop back around. I ping that I have my ult up. We need to go for this trade here. And so I pop my ult, go for the W. Corki buffers it with his W, which he played it really well. but we're able to get the kill. This is like another really big mistake I've noticed a lot of support players kind of make in this LP range is that they win lane and then they randomly over roam, where they just screw over their AD carry. And so, yeah, we're just able, our win con is bot side. Like, they're creating win con for us by taking such bad roams. I think if they just played standard, like, they just roll this game over. But now that Kai'Sa is stronger, we can find an angle with that. So, again, a lot of enemy overstays in our jungle. I reset after the kill, and I'm still able to catch them in our jungle, which is insane. After we get the kill, I get a deep ward in. Try to see that Camille is overextending. She uses her E. I get the W off, and then I immediately look to reset to walk back bot. Echo is going for TP. I'm thinking that I am on the way. I have a lot of gold because of the shutdown. I buy a Kindle Gem. I'm going for Redemption Locket. I don't actually play too much Rakan, but I went the Redemption Rush just because you can pretty much never go wrong with Redemption Rush, I think, on most champions. And then Redemption and Locket is a very strong 2-item combo because the heal and shield power works. That Redemption gives works with Locket and Redemption itself. So while the skirmish was happening bot side, the Xin Zhao was taking Dragon. He's able to get it. I'm clearing out wards on this side. I'm thinking that I want to go for Herald, but I clear out this control ward first. And then I'm hovering Kai'Sa just so she can push out mid, and then I want to look to kind of lock down the top side for Herald. It's really important. I have a control ward here, but I'm waiting for our team to be in a better position where I can defend it. So I didn't place it down earlier because Katarina and their support was showing mid, but because they are walking down, that's when I take the opportunity to go in deep. So I see that Corki is rotating. I tried to CC my combo where I W and then ult, but it was a little too ambitious. I missed the timer to chain it, so Corki had a second to jump over, which was completely my bad. Kind of comes from not playing enough Rakan to know that timer well enough. But I should have just, I think, like, ult W'd, and then maybe Kai'Sa could have gone something. Maybe we could have killed Corki before his team rotated, but that's okay. Hindsight Andy. Holding the wave here for Echo, for anyone to grab it so it doesn't go to waste under the tower. We have to unfortunately give Herald now because Gwen and Kai'Sa died, and so because they are on top side, I am looking to set up bot side. So I'm just clearing out wards and placing down wards of my own. So this is another kind of like important fundamental of support. If you have to give up an objective, you want to set up the other side so you are first on, so you'll have a side where you are first to move, and when you are first to move you can set up more and just look for opportunities. I'm trying my best to just really defend angles from the enemy entering from mid. We try to go for this blue, but we get spotted on the vision cone. I ult, try to look for Elise, but unfortunately I'm too low, and then I die to the Q without being able to actually get the knock-up. So Otacon is top side. Oh no, Otacon is up in 2 minutes. They chase us up top. Gwen, this was actually crazy. Gwen is able to kill 3 of them, which I felt like, I don't know, that was insane. That was like a Gwen moment. So, scores 24-19. We're still down gold. It's honestly not that bad. I think most of the gold is on Katarina here, but again, the way I'm trying to play this is I'm playing more defensively because they have a lot of prio in other lanes, and I'm just setting up on objective sides, looking for opportunities, trying to defend mid, and try to push out waves so we can rotate out to the sides. I went bot here to defend the tier 2 turret against Camille, and then I'm kind of working my way mid again. So Dragon's up in a minute. Same with Otacon. I want to prioritize getting Dragon here. I'm using the vision cones to set up for us, denying it from the enemy. Really trying to defend the choke here on ramp. I get Elise E'd, but our team is able to follow up. I dip out. Last second, we are able to find 2 kills. And again, this being able to look for this pick here comes from finding that line, trying to create that area where the enemy can't walk in. We go in for Camille. Gwen is bot side. I'm hovering around even though I'm low to try to cancel Katarina, but Katarina is super fed, so I die before my W goes off. We end up trading here. They end up winning the trade. Well, actually, most of our team dies, but Gwen is able to get bot side turret, which gives her a lot of gold. So I wouldn't say it was completely bad for us. But I wanted to highlight, like, we were able... Initially, the play was really good because we were able to get the pick on an enemy on the ramp. And I wanted to highlight that this is kind of like the way you want to play when you're behind, right? Where you're trying to push forward, like inch forward the line of your vision while denying them out. Because if I just let Elise set up the entire bot side dragon, then we wouldn't be able to look for an opportunity like that. But because I'm smart using vision cones, I'm slowly pushing forward, I am able to kind of like push her back to the ramp and defend it, and she doesn't know if my team is behind just because I am holding that area. So we see that they take... That was awful by me, by the way. We see that they just took Otacon and their top side, and so we can look to force a fight on Katarina here. I messed that up mechanically. I ulted and just missed my W. I just needed to go past her, but it is what it is. We get the kill. I'm just using these vision cones. Yo, vision cone on Chemtech Dragon, by the way, is... You get so many opportunities to clear out vision, and it honestly feels like you... it doesn't feel as bad when you're behind because of how much range it gives and how easy it is to clear wards. So I'm hovering Gwen here. I started mid, going back bot. Mid is reset, so I'm wrapping back around. I'm like in between helping Gwen and Kaisa, but yeah, we started mid, we went back down, and then we looped back mid because the wave reset and it was going back mid. So Gwen unfortunately overstays and gets picked off. But I'm staying mid here because I have to clear the Herald. I'm pinging for help on the bot tier 2. Again, you really don't want to give this tower because of how much gold it gives. So I walk forward here. Go for the W, don't hit it, and unfortunately we do have to give because we are chunked out. I walk forward here because I have E, I know I'm chilling. And now I have to reset because I need more wards. So we do end up trading... Echo does end up trading for Elise topside. Elise is... I can tell this Elise is like a pretty good player herself because she's also defending for the tier 2. That's when you kind of know, like, support solo defending tier 2. That's when you know, like, they are, they know what to do, and, like, they know how important it is. So Kaisa is pushing out mid. We have no wards. I want to try to ward Baron side. I know that there's probably not a lot of wards within our jungle just because Elise just died. But I am still using the vision cone to leverage me, um, to leverage vision, and so I can walk in a lot deeper. So sides are trading pretty hard. I have a lot of defensive wards set up just so I can see Elise walk in. I know that most likely I won't be able to stop her, but it will give me just good information where I can play off of it. We kill out the mid wave, and then I place a ward before the enemy wave comes in. So I always talk about how this ward gives this is one of the best wards to have in the game. But yeah, this was a good timer for it. Elise is trying to walk in here. I'm trying my hard to defend it, but you know, when I do get pushed out, I kind of just have to back off. I'm playing Rakan here, so I can play a bit more forward just because I'm mobile, but I get chunked out with 1Q. Feels bad. I still want to defend this area. Elise is trying to break that line of where we are defending. Echo comes around. I'm okay with eating this. I pop ult. I should have eat to Echo here and then gone for W instead of flashing in, which ultimately leads me to my death. Their entire team ends up collapsing on us, so what looked like a good flank for us just ends up being bad. I mechanically played this pretty poorly. I think if I ulted in and then E'd first to W to E out and then flash out, like, it would have been fine, but yeah, regardless, it was just kind of a bad fight to take because their team just rotated before us, and as I'm dead, I've dropped down the redemption, which unfortunately my team kind of flies to the other side, and both of them end up dying. We do have Gwen TP come down, and I'm running towards her just in case we can try to look for something. Gwen is really strong. She is almost able to one-shot Corki. Gets the kill. I'm still running over. Echo also TP's in, and I'm able to make it just in time for this. So yeah, honestly, pretty insane. Our Gwen is 11 and 9, our Echo 7 and 11, but yeah, pretty crazy that we were able to to defend this Baron. I think that it was really greedy for the enemy team to stick on it. I think what should have happened is that they should have just backed off as soon as they saw the TP. Or they could have just played it better where they engaged on us. But they decided to stick Baron, and then we're able to get them off of it. So then we go for Dragon. I still have some pretty good wards, so I don't want to expend all my wards on bot side, especially because right after we get Dragon, we are going to try to... We're going to be playing the Baron side again. So I'm going to look for Kaisa here. Sorry, I'm going to look for Camille here. But she dips out. And so I hover around this wave to get the EXP, and I'm setting up again for the Baron side. I'm using the vision cones. It's pretty important to kind of know... I don't know the timings for the vision cones, but I know where most of them are. So I am able to get a lot out of just knowing that. Warding Baron. I hop out. I have 0 wards, but I was going to recall here, but after I saw Xin Zhao, I have to stay. Denying the bush here with my control ward actually is what nets us a kill here, because Katarina goes in. The Trundle is just sitting in the bush. And then I see that Gwen is pushing out bot, so we want to look to honestly stall, but a fight breaks out, so I'm just hovering outside of my team's range. Hit the cone here. Corki gets a nice W out. and we're able to clean up, and then Gwen is able to just last the Nexus. So that was this game. Yeah, overall, we fell super behind, but we were able to come back because not only did the enemy throw, but I was setting up in a way where I have defensive wards, and kind of really the key point of this game was to highlight pushing that area of vision back and not just letting your enemy completely take over your bot side. Because if they end up doing so, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to be on the offense. And yeah, this was a pretty good game to showcase what to do when you're behind. So that's it for this commentary. Thank you so much for watching.